It's Monday, the 29th of January, and can you believe it's the end of January already? 2024, already a month in. It's just crazy how quick the time goes. Let's have a look at what we've got going out today. And on Bricklink, we've got 9 orders going out. Only 107 lots across the orders there, so not a huge amount. If we look on Brick Owl, it's a similar story, another 9 going out there. And somebody asked on a forum recently, what the split between Bricklink and Brick Owl was for those guys. And, lots of them were talking about, Brick Owl being kind of, I don't know, 10, 20% maybe. I'd say that Brick Owl for me is a good... probably 40% of orders, so maybe 60-40 in favour of Bricklink. Now, of course, Brick Owl orders do tend to be a little lower in value overall against Bricklink orders, but nevertheless, still a great contribution to the pot. 113 lots going out there, 564 items, so higher lot count, higher number of items, yet lower value, so kind of bears what I just said really. Then on eBay, we've got 7 orders going out on eBay, and as is the case normally, we've got orders all over the place ready to show you guys, so let's have a look. I do still have 1 order to pick, but I thought I better get cracking now and get these packed ready for the post office, and I'll see if I have time before I go to finish the other one. Let's start here. So we've got on eBay a used Naya figure going out, £7.50. Couple of minifigs going out there, Star-Lord and Black Widow. Then we've got Marvel Series 2 Wolverine. We've got a Star Wars Astromech droid. We've got a Snow Villager. And then we're on to Bricklink and Brick Owl orders. So we've got some minifig parts going out there with a few leaflets. And I suspect that what people are doing here, they're doing the old trick of picking up leaflets where they can. Probably going to laminate them for making up the collectible minifigs, but I could be wrong. More minifig parts going out here, including some of these light pearl grey helmets, and more minifig parts. A couple of minifigs going out here with a Loki and a Hawkeye, and then some parts orders. And here we've got 30 plus lots of different video tiles. So someone's obviously collecting those, I think. Got a couple of 100 1x2 black plates going out. Somebody's bought 150 something black leg assemblies, used ones, amongst a couple of other little pieces, but nothing much. A minifigure and a couple of minifig parts, some Technic bits, another little parts order, couple of minifigs going out here. This customer actually contacted me to check that this pink plate that I had listed was actually pink and not the bright pink. He said apparently he'd ordered some pink from other people and got the wrong colour, but I was able to assure him that is the old pink. We've got some dark bluish grey parts going out, more Technic stuff, and then over here, that's the order that's still to be picked, which is all minifig parts, leg assemblies, and all sorts of bits and pieces in there. Little parts order there, another parts order, and then on eBay we've got a Groot going out. So it's quite nice to have a little bit more space along here now that I've sort of mostly tidied up the surface. It gives me a lot more space to have things laid out instead of trying to squeeze them onto the table. And I've branched out over to this side of the room as well. But anyway, I best get cracking, get these lot packed up, ready for the post office, and then I'll see if I've got time for that last one. A few more orders ready to go out. This is the one that I had to leave this morning because I'd run out of time and wasn't going to be able to get this out with the first batch of orders. This is about 60 something lots of minifig parts and accessories, and almost, if not all, of the minifig parts are Ninjago related. So something of a Ninjago fan here, I suspect, including a Ninjago minifig going out with that lot as well. Then we've got a couple of small parts orders for some plates and a couple of other bits, and this white net here. And then I've just had this order in. I had somebody contact me with a question about these clips and whether mine had any moulding lines on the face of them, and they sent a photograph showing some that had mould lines which looked like a mould fault or something, and I was able to reassure them that mine were absolutely fine, and they've bought the lot that had close to 500. They've bought those, so not sure what they're doing with them. I assume they're going into some sort of other builds or something, but they are going out today with the others. And then I'm going to do a bit of research into some foil packs, you know, the ones that come with the magazines and things. I've got a line on those, and I just want to check them out and maybe get some of those in for probably for the eBay store. I just want to say a quick thanks to Harley, who has made a donation to me on my Ko-fi page and says thank you for giving so much advice for starting my store through your videos. So thanks very much, Harley. I'm glad that you're picking up some tips and learning some things from the videos and finding it useful. And thank you for just sending along a few pounds for a coffee. It's really appreciated, and thanks again. A few orders going out this morning, Tuesday the 30th of January. A couple of orders on eBay. We've got a Knuckle minifigure and a Tom Riddle figure from Harry Potter. And then we've just got some really pretty modest parts orders. We've got this real old retro motorcycle going out amongst some other things. We've got a baby zombie from Minecraft, and then couple of minifig parts going out there. So really not an awful lot at all. I have got an order just waiting for payment for Norway, which is about 60 lots, which I'll pick once that's paid. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the opportunity to probably get these off to the post office, and then I'm going to look at that Bricklink list of parts that I need to modify the text on, and probably try and work through that next, I think. So this is what the next job entails for me. I'm currently working through these variant changes where we've got these texts that need to be added to each of these part numbers where we want to retain those as variants. And if I'm honest with you, I've really got mixed feelings about doing this. I'm doing it at the moment just to kind of ensure that I'm keeping the variants I've got so far that are already sorted and in different locations. But as they sell out, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this or not. I'm just going to monitor things going forward. So the job for the moment is to be going through the list here, working through each of the part numbers and taking the text and adding it into the comment section on each of the parts, so that when people are looking at the different lots in against each item as they get merged, there'll then be maybe two lots, an A and a B lot in that item, one with a remark and one without, I guess, or both with remarks, but different remarks. So in this instance, we've got a 3747A and a B. So one lot will have without connections between studs, and the other one will have with connections between studs. So not ideal for the customer, in my opinion, going in and trying to buy parts, especially those who don't care about the variants. You know, I guess they'll just go for the cheapest in the list. But anyway, this is going to keep me busy for a little while, and it's just one of them tasks that needs to be done, so I'm just cracking on with it. So believe it or not, I'm back at the Technic stuff. We've got a bag here of 1x bricks to sort through. So in here we've got 1x bricks with a single hole, 2 holes, and an axle hole as well. There are also some 1x bricks in here. So it's just a case of sorting through these, and we can then get them added to the store. We've still got a file ongoing, so still adding to this, still uploading. Not been super active with the uploads, if I'm honest, of late, and I need to get back and get more uploaded, obviously. So we're going to be pushing on, clearing off this this Technic stuff, and then we might get onto some more sorting. I mentioned earlier that I haven't been uploading as much as I would have liked to recently, and part of that reason is because of issues with Brickstore. Now, last week I think I mentioned to you about an issue with the camera, whereby when I was trying to add parts, I would click on the camera button, and I need a part under there, but so I'd have a part there, and I would click it, and it would find the part, I would add it, and then I'd go to find another part, and I'd click again, and when I would click, I would end up with an error message in the window here, and it would come up with an error message which said invalid status 429. Now, I originally reached out to Brickstore, and they didn't think it was a problem with the software. They thought it was related to me. So I reached out to the Bricklink developer, who replied to me immediately and said he'd noticed a massive increase since a recent update to Brickstore of duplicated calls to Bricklink, which resulted in the 429 error message. So I was able to get myself, another user, the Bricklink developer and the Brickstore developer together, and between them they have managed to resolve the problem, so that I'm now not getting the 429 error. I'm actually using currently a kind of modified version that only me and this other user have got at the moment, I think, while we wait for a proper release of Brickstore, a new version of Brickstore, which is coming later this week. Now, unfortunately, what it has done is kind of introduced a different problem for me, whereby Brickstore will just shut down randomly, and I'll lose anything that I've been working on unless I've saved regularly. And there's no warning, there's no crash report, there is nothing. Now, if you're experiencing this, I think this is only for Mac users. And apparently it's caused by a bug in one of the libraries or whatever it is that they use as part of the development of Brickstore, which I think relates to QuickTime, because it's called something like Qt 6.6 or something like that. Now, there is a kind of a workaround, which isn't a good one, in my opinion, but it gets you going. And the workaround is to turn off as much of your accessibility options that you've got in your privacy and security. So you can see I've got an enormous amount of stuff turned off here, and even now it still crashes occasionally. But with these accessibility features turned on, then it's just crashing almost constantly. So not an ideal position for me. Now, I've been told by the developer that there is a new version of this Qt library being released this week, and once that's been released, he will then release a new version of Brickstore, and that should solve not just my problem of on the Mac of the app just shutting down randomly, but also solves the 429 error message with Bricklink. So if any of you out there are suffering from either of those problems, by the time you're watching this video, they will have been solved, or if not, then do check the Brickstore update and make sure that you have updated to the latest version. I've just received this package in the mail, and I wanted to show you what's inside. So let's have a little look. So I wasn't expecting anything, by the way, and what's inside is these minifigures and a message which says, "Hi Keith, I wanted to send over these clones for you to add to your store. As a token of my appreciation for your help in setting up my store through your vlogs, whilst not much, I thought I'd offer what I had uninventoried. I had one question I wanted to ask you. I've been going around 3 months and have around 25,000 parts, and I've been focusing mainly on minifigs and minifig parts. However, I have 30 kilograms of used Lego, but prefer new sets. My only question is it best to specialize in used or new, or both, and at what inventory size or lot variety point do part orders become much more frequent? Thank you again for all I have gained from your vlogs. I've also purchased a coffee for you as an additional thanks, and that's Harley at All Things Minifigs." So this is the person that obviously left me the coffee donation earlier in the week. So first of all, I just want to say thanks, not just for the coffee donation, but taking the time to pop these in the post for me, and you know, let me have those is really appreciated. I'm glad to hear that you're learning stuff from the vlog, and you're putting it to good use and are able to grow your store with it. In answer kind of specifically to your question about the bulk, I don't think there's a definitive answer, unfortunately. It really depends on what kind of seller you are, who you want to target, what kind of storage you've got, and several other things mixed in there. So you said that you prefer new at the moment, and I certainly understand why. New, as we know, is so much easier to sort. You know exactly what's going to be in the boxes. You buy them in multiples. They're easy to sort and then easy to put away and keep together. The negative side of the bulk is that you may have already found this. It's time consuming to sort. You're going to find varying quality issues. You're not going to know what's in the box. You might find some hidden treasures, you might not. And it takes an awful lot of time to sort that 30 kilos of Lego down to individual part type by colour combinations. And then the issue is, if you're doing new as well, then you're going to have double the storage in a way. You need to keep the used separate from the new, so you need a segregated area to be putting that used stock into, so it's going to use a lot more organization. So for me, probably at this point, you need to make a little bit of a decision whether you want to go the new or the used route. I think doing both is going to be challenging, because you're not going to have the storage in place, and if you need to go and start buying it, you know, that's going to take up probably a lot of your capital in getting set up. One of the reasons that other people go for used is largely down to cost and profit margins, along with the sort of the preference, I suppose, to enjoying the used sort. Maybe, you know, you can pick up used bulk relatively cheaply, so you can pick up a couple of hundred kilos of used bulk, sort it down into categories like I've got going on over here. This is the tail end of the Technic stuff that I've been sorting. So we've got axles and pins and all kinds of stuff, but that takes time to sort it down to those categories, and then you need to sort it further into the specific part and color combinations, as I said. So I would be tempted personally. You've said also that you've got minifigs and minifig parts. I don't know if they're new or they're used. Probably what you're finding is you're getting the minifig parts out of the used bulk, and then you don't really want to deal with the other parts that are coming out of there. You kind of want the minifigs, and that's a common business model as well. People buy in bulk, siphoning out with a first pass, taking out the minifigs, the minifig parts, maybe some higher value or interesting parts, and then selling the bulk on. So that way you don't have to necessarily sort the bulk, at least not right down to each item and color combination, and you can use the capital from the resale of the bulk to buy in more bulk. That's a very common approach, and in fact many sellers who are not so interested in the minifig parts will buy bulk in bulk from those kind of sellers. So it wouldn't be uncommon for some buyers to buy 200 kilos of bulk if you had it available, for instance. So a couple of different approaches there for you to mull over and have a think about, and let me know if you've got any more questions around it. And you know, I do the one-to-one chats if you fancy that at some point, but it is a paid service, as I'm sure you know from watching all of the vlogs. But let me know how you're getting on, and what decision you made, and you know, just leave a comment, and I'd be interested to hear how you get on. So here's the latest upload going up, just under 3,000 items, just short of £250 worth. And I've added the minifigs that we just received from Harley. So those are really appreciated. And there's lots of bits and bobs of Technic stuff in here, in the main, as well as other bits and pieces. So I'm going to get this lot uploaded, and I'll maybe do an update and tell you how many lots we added to the store. So that little lot added 148 new lots to the store, although you'll see overall that the lot count has dropped a bit from the around 14,000 we were a little while back before Christmas. We're down to 13,576 lots now. Also, inventory wise, down to 711,000 from about 720 something or other. So had a little bit of a hit, and as I've said, not been uploading as much as I should have been, but we're going to be putting that right very shortly, we hope, and get back to those kind of numbers we had before Christmas. Just a few orders going out today, Wednesday the 31st. I've got this order here going off to Norway, which is a whole bunch of stuff, some hidden side minifigures and some train parts that look like they're for a Hogwarts Express, etc. Some dark bluish grey parts going out. We've got a shoulder cloth there for a Star Wars figure, and then some yellow parts going out here, along with a couple of minifig accessories as well. I've also got a little thing going out here, which is making me question how I do things a little bit, because this has a part in it that was missing from an order that was sent to the US. Now, the order wasn't super high value. It was in the region of about £7 or so. And now there's a missing part, which I need to send out, which is going to cost about £4 to send it. So effectively, I'm not making any money on this order, if not losing money. So it's making me wonder about needing to set a minimum order value for international orders, just to cover this kind of thing in the future. There's a couple of ways I can approach it. I can just increase my postage costs. At the moment, I do postage at cost, so I don't literally make no money on postage whatsoever. So I could increase my postage costs a little bit and just try and add a little bit to each order to cover this kind of scenario. Of course, I can just take the hit on this, which is probably what I will be doing for now. Or I can set a minimum order value. So, for instance, set an order value of, I don't know, £20 to go internationally or something. The problem with that is that I will lose orders, because I definitely send international orders that are less than £20. So leave a comment below as to what you do with international orders, and what you think would be a good thing to do in this instance. Now, I could have, just sort of lied, I suppose, and said that the missing part, I didn't have it here. But that's not the way I play the game. It's my mistake. I'll eat the cost for it. But of course, I want to try and protect myself a little bit from making this kind of mistake in the future. So I've been sorting a couple of other things around the room over the last hour or so, but I'm going to get into sorting these plates out now and get them sorted into shape, size. I've got some sort of wedge plates in here which will be separated out, and I'll just work on the straight plates, the 4x6, 4x8, etc. and try and get some of those added to the stores. We're getting a little bit low on plates. Now, we have had a few more orders come in after I got back from the post office, so I'll need to get these out later today. We've got a low-key figure going out for $14.99 on eBay. Then we've got a Batman polybag and a Thor minifig, again, eBay. Lots of 2x4 bricks, mostly used in various colours. And then this, which is quite nice to see move. It's about 3,500 pins here. So that's going to hit the inventory numbers a little bit. When I was talking yesterday about getting the numbers up, then there's a 3,500 item deficit to the inventory. But they're there to be sold, so don't get too hung up on the numbers. So I'll get these packed up, because I've got to go out and pick my wife up a little later, and I'll drop these in the post box at that point, and I'll crack on with these plates. So I've been adding a batch of square and rectangular plates to a brick store file, and we've got about £70 worth, 236 items in 87 lots, and what I'm keen to do is get this uploaded today and get back to more sort of daily updates, rather than leaving a file open and just chucking a few things on it every day. I think this way you get things added to the store more quickly. They become available for customers more quickly. It helps drive sales, obviously, by new items appearing on the store, and just adds us a little bit of motivation as well, I think, and just stops the file sort of stagnating over the week before you upload anything. So I'm going to go and get this uploaded, added to the store, and I think that's going to be about it for the rest of the day. Let's have a quick look at what we've got going out on Thursday, the 1st of February. Starting on eBay as usual, we've got another Tom Riddle figure going out, which is odd because, you know, this shows how eBay works, I think, because I hadn't sold any of these in a long while, and then I've sold 2 this week. So it's like you sell one and then you seem to start selling more, whether they just start appearing at the top of a list or something, who knows. But yeah, always coincidental. We've got a Moon Knight going out and a Star Lord. Then on Bricklink we've got a droid going out with a few parts, and then a few parts orders. Slightly bigger parts order here, 30 odd lots, lots of reddish brown log type bricks. More parts orders, couple of minifigs going out, a Wild Style and a Batman. We've got 400 used 1x2 trans blue tiles, and then another one from one of our most regular customers. We've got lots of bright light orange going out. So not too bad, a little bit better this morning than it has been. Just got a parcel in, and I'm going to be opening that up in a second and showing you what's inside. So I've just received this parcel, and want to show you guys what's inside. Interested to see the contents myself, so let's take a look. So as you can see, this is full of polybags, paper bags from the various magazines that you can buy in the stores. So we picked up all sorts of stuff, lots of city, sort of city there on the top, and then we've got all kinds in here. We've got Dreams, we've got Jurassic Park, we've got lots of Ninjago, we've got some Star Wars stuff, lots of Minecraft, more Ninjago, more City, more Star Wars, more Ninjago, different types of course, more City, and it just goes on and on. I think there's another layer. Yeah, we've got, if I take these out, what you'll see on the bottom, oops, I'm losing stuff, is lots of these various tins. So we've got these Ninjago tins, and then there's another Ninjago tin in there as well. So I can get one of them out. So we've got another one as well, and there's about a dozen each of those. We've got some Avengers stuff on the top. So quite a big haul of these. I'm trying to think how many I actually ordered. I don't even know. I think at least 150, I think, if not more. So this is my job for another couple of hours at least, by the look of it, is sitting and getting all of these sorted and listed. So before I get started with the listing of these, I just thought I would show you what I've got exactly, and give you an indication of the quantities. As I said, those are the tins that we've got, and then if we move over here, here is the range of all of the foil bags, paper bags, whatever we want to call them these days. They're a mix of both. So lots of variety here, and then more here as well. So I'm hoping that you know, this adds some extra lots to the store, but primarily eBay as well. I don't think there's tons of profit in these things, if I'm honest. But you know, it's a case of adding things to the eBay store, keeping money turning over, keeping things going through the door, and we'll see how they go. Friday morning, let's have a quick look at this morning's orders, which are not very extensive, but we had to close the Brickowl store last night because Bricklink had caused a problem with the API. They'd made a change, and that meant that it was breaking Brick Freedom, Brick Sync, Brick Store, you name it. The API was having a pretty bad effect, and that was as a result of them changing just 4 part numbers as a kind of a test for the changes to come. So let's hope we're not in for more issues as they change the several hundred other parts that need to be changed. But let's have a look anyway at what's going out today. We've got a Snow Villager going out on eBay, and then we get into the parts orders. Nothing too extreme to mention about those. We've got a nice order here for some minifig parts, some Friends minifigs, some Chima, some Ninjago, some animals, lots of leg assemblies, torsos, etc. going out, and then another parts order there. So we'll get these packed up after the post office, and we'll get started with the rest of the day. I've just had another donation from Harley again, and they're asking a question this time, and say, I just wondered if you'd answer this in your next vlog. With a Royal Mail business account, how do you have to present your post to a depot and or the post office? Recently got my account, but it hasn't been explained. Bagged, tagged, separated. Does it vary? Thank you. So the official line with Royal Mail is that all of your mail needs to be separated into category and bagged by category. Now, what that means is that if you have a bunch of mail and some of it is first class large letter, some of it is second class large letter, some of it is first class small parcel, and some is second class small parcel, they would have you bag it in 4 different bags, one for each parcel type. So first class small parcel would go into one sack, second class large letter into another, and so on. So what you would then do is you would have a tag, and there would be red or green ones of these, and you order these from Royal Mail online supplies, and they're free of charge. You just need to go on and order them, and when you order them, you will get a huge box of each, and they'll last you for years. Excuse me. I ordered mine when I first took my business account, and I haven't even used a fraction of them. Now, what you would do on here is you would write in your account number. So you'd be given a number. Now mine starts with a 9. I don't know if they all do, but it's about an 8-digit number or so. I think it's actually called your location number, not necessarily your account number. And then you write your business name underneath the number, and then you tick whether it's a large letter or if it's a small parcel, then you'd click this packet. Now, as I said, that's the official way. And just to follow up on that, there's also international standard, in which case you might put all of your international packages into a sack, and then on the back you write your number and business again on there. Now, that's the official line with Royal Mail. And what you would also do is when you take your post to the depot, so you'd have them all in each different sack, you would then need to print a manifest. Now here's an example of a manifest. The few items that I sent out this morning, I think I've retracted everything that you know, it shouldn't be seen, but you'll see it like this. It's a manifest. You just hand that over at the desk at the depot, or the post office, I believe. I always go to a depot, so I can't really speak too much for the post office experience. And it will categorize each of your lines like this. Now you'll have multiple pages if you've got international orders going out in the same day, or if you've got tracked and things like that. Now that's the official line. Now the reality, and it took me a little while to kind of get to the reality, is that you can, depending on how much you've got, you know, because I think Royal Mail expect, if you've got a business account, the likelihood is you're gonna have several sacks, each of them, you know, relatively full. Now, if I'm honest, these days I rarely take a sack at all because I have such a variety of postage types. I have Royal Mail 48, I have second class large letter, first class large letter, first and second small parcels, international post. So there's a whole bunch of them, but if you separate them all into each bag, then they don't amount to very much in each bag. Sometimes you might have a sack with one item in, so it's just really not practical for anybody. So what I do is I simply take all of mine, most days, if I'd say you've got, you know, I don't know, 15, 20, something like that, you take them, I just put them in a shopping bag. I print out my my manifest, and I just go to the depot, go to the counter, and they will scan each of the parcels in, and they'll retain this, which is for them, by the way. This isn't for me. The manifest is kept by Royal Mail, and that works for me. I've never had anybody complain about doing it that way. Now, if you turn up and you've got 50, 60 items, then they're going to complain. In that case, like I do on a Monday, I will typically have a couple of sacks. So if I've got a lot of second class post that day, or a lot of second class large letters that day, I'll put them in a sack. I'll attach the label, and I'll take a sack with me. And then the remainder of odds and ends, you know, the mix of, maybe I've got one first class small parcel, maybe I've got a couple of, you know, Royal Mail 48, a couple of international. I'll just take them, those mixed ones, loose, and hand them over, and they'll just scan them. So there's the two approaches. That way, you know, the way I do it now I like, because I don't have to mess about with sacks. I don't have to worry about replenishing the sacks. If you need more sacks, you can either order them from the Royal Mail online, or just speak to your depot and they'll give you a bunch of sacks. Whenever you're there next, they'll just hand over probably 10, 20 sacks, and they'll just bundle load into another sack. So that's how I do it. Works for me. I don't know if each depot is going to be, you know, less happy to do that, but for me it works. It works really well, and I don't have to bag into sacks each day. I just present it all mostly as a mixed batch. Just literally pour them out on the counter, and the guy will just scan them one by one, put them into their little sacks that they have at the side, and take the manifest. So hope that answers the question. Thanks again for another donation. You've been very generous this week in particular. Really is much appreciated. And if you need any more help with that, reach out to me through the comments or send me a mail, and I'll be happy to help. It's a Saturday morning, Saturday the 3rd of February, and I'm picking orders. Not something I do regularly, but I've got an appointment on Monday, and I wanted to clear as much as possible so that I'm not struggling too much on Monday. So let's have a look at what we got going out. We've got a Groot on eBay, followed by a Groot on eBay, followed by a Groot on eBay. As I said the other day, it's weird how when you sell one, you seem to get a rush on them. I just think it's the eBay algorithm starts pushing you up the chain. Either that or someone else has sold out and mine are the next cheapest ones or something like that. Then we're on to parts orders. Nothing staggering to mention really. Bunch of old stuff here, sort of piratey kind of things, gold coins, money, some old maps, a rowboat, and lots of gems. So you can imagine what kind of build that's going into. Now this one is going off to Singapore, and this was a buyer who originally ordered these, which came to way less than £1, and he wanted tracking on the order, which was going to be £10. And I went back to him and I said, I'm going to have to cancel the order because, you know, if there's an issue with the post or there's an issue with an item when it gets there, not that there would be with these, I don't think, but, you know, you could be significantly out of pocket if you had to repost or refund the postage even. So I mentioned that to him, and he had a look on the store, came back and said, oh, there's some cool figures on there. So he's actually bought some figures as well and got the order over £20. So I'm really grateful to him for that. And I have asked some questions of other sellers about what their minimum order value is for international orders. I don't have one at the moment, but I do get nervous when I get an order that's, you know, for £1 to go to Italy or somewhere, you know. Anyway, more parts orders here. Couple of Technic orders. One here for lots of you know, regular sort of connectors and things, and then one for these square bricks which I need to get packed properly. And then we've got some 6x6 red tiles going out with a single white dog. Lots of 1x3 bricks going out, and a couple of parts there. So that's as much as I'm doing for this morning. The depot shuts at 12 on a Saturday, so I need to get these packed up and off to the depot, and anything else we'll get out on Monday.